very privileged to have Dr. Bhaskar here with us. He's the CEO of Z Network News. He's one of the most innovative thinkers in the media world today, and he's had a fantastic career in the media industry for the last 35 years. Dr. Das, thanks a lot for being with us here today.
It's a pleasure for me too.
You have spoken to us and our students in Center for Management about disruptive innovation and about thinking differently and the way companies are using the 4 C's to market out to the community. Maybe we could talk a bit more about that and explain to the rest of the students and the rest of the audience as to what you mean by the 4 C's and what companies should be doing today to connect to students.
Yes, the 4 C's framework came in the context of the new protocols of brand management, where consumer is at the center of the action. It was always either the corporation or the brand, but for a change now, because of digital revolution and perhaps the activism of the consumer, she's at the center. Traditionally and conventionally, corporations have managed the ecosystem more through paid and owned media, but they have never faced the consequences of the earned media, which is basically Facebook, Twitter and other social networking sites. And because of consumer activism, today the market is of one individual. Everyone has a viewpoint and I can be vocal, and immediately I create a community of shared beliefs. When corporations used to manage from one to many ecosystem, we always thought that a silent customer is a satisfied customer. Today, the customer is no longer silent. Now that managing in that world order is extremely difficult because of the fact that you don't know where your enemy or friends are. So that's why when I mentioned about weapons of mass collaboration, that you collaborate with your customers also. And the protocols of managing a customer is very different from managing a customer of the olden times. Which means you have to be proactive, there's nothing to get scared about it. But managing internal culture and also external ecosystem is an important part of brand management, marketing management, or even management of business.
There are a lot of examples of old-style companies that have messed up when they've spoken to the consumer and not included the consumer into their communication. But from your experience, are there any companies that have done it right?
P&G is a great example. They have Indian operations also. Unilever is a great example. Even if you see today baristas or cafe coffee days, I think it is not a very complex system. In fact, to my mind, managing business as well as managing brands has become easier. As I mentioned there in the class, you have to improve your hearing ability. Corporations have this obsession of thinking that we know it all. I don't think it's going to work on a sustained basis. The customer may be smarter. So smarter information, smarter intelligent customer. Another interesting thing is happening, that corporate intelligence is residing outside corporation now. Because we'll see a new world order will come perhaps when it has arrived. There will be more jobs, there will be more work and less job. Which means individuals will be entrepreneurs. You will see that super talented employees you will perhaps keep in the corporation with exorbitant or exceptional compensation. Or if they leave, because there also everyone loves freedom, you have to outsource your work. So knowledge workers in knowledge society will be independent. Is your internal structure ready to allow that kind of discipline? As I told you in the class that you have to come out of the category to solve a problem. The moment you suffer from category myopia, your management style will also be stymied.
Now, of course, a lot of our students, especially Center for Management, they want to change the world, they want to do something really brilliant. But of course, someone like yourself, who himself is very innovative and has been in the world, working world for at least the last 35-40 years, maybe you could share some rules of thumb or sort of heuristics or some things that you have used to guide yourself into the choices that you made and the path that you've taken.
I think mantra here is, I'm very clear that you can't carry the baggage of experience. Today experience, knowledge is a liability. Till you reskill yourself. One route to learning is deep observing, deep listening, and use of social science, whether it's anthropology, sociology or psychology, to decode variety of nuggets that are there in the environment. We make the business model complex through application of heuristics, of this, of that, models. I think consumer is not model. Consumer is not statistics. Consumer is not PowerPoint presentation. Consumer is not Excel sheet. I always say they're very beautifully disorganized. They're simple people. They're constantly giving message. Make my life simpler, entertaining, be a trusted navigator. Basic principles have not changed. Think of the customer in his new circumstances of life. Today, ethics matter big time, because if your ethics is not there for yourself, for your surroundings, for your society, the triple bottom line, that's what I mean by that. That is what matters most, and it has never been so relevant as it is today, because I think whole society is suffering from a trust famine. And in a trust famine society, the new world order will not be perfect competition. It will be an oligopoly of trust. Few companies with trusted delivery in a sustained manner will survive. And when that happens, only trusted employees and trusted processes will be successful.